Hello everyone, Alistair Gold here. I'm back. I don't have to start it with a sigh. Apologies for the break in videos. The slight delay, the pause between the last video and this one, but I had a bit of a pause myself. Injuries in Richarlison, that's been the issue for him. A £60 million move, what was it, 2 years ago, and the injuries have been the thing that I felt have just really kind of hampered him throughout. And he's done okay this season. 12 goals, 4 assists in 31 games. And it shows that he can contribute. But his injuries over the past 2 seasons have meant he's missed 19 matches. And look, there's still interest. We've seen it. We've heard about it from Saudi Arabia in him. Clubs in the Saudi Pro League. And if you're Spurs and you get a big offer to maybe even recoup your money, I don't know kind of what will eventually will properly be offered. It becomes a difficult decision that it shouldn't have been, because the injuries kind of make you feel like, well, what if we can't count on him next season? Is it better to use that money elsewhere? What I would say is you have to replace him well. If you are going to get rid of him in that side, and I don't know whether he want to go or not, that's a whole other thing, but we've seen in recent games what losing the target man and focal point, the only real one from the attack, it just really makes Spurs a lot more predictable in the way they attack. I think that's the way to put it. So you would have to replace him with a like-minded type, I guess, because it just doesn't. With Sonny up front, Sonny's had I've seen people kind of having a pop at Sonny's season, which I find incredible. The man has 26 direct goal involvements in 33 Premier League games, 17 goals and 9 assists. I saw someone saying he's had a terrible season. If that's a terrible season, I would love to have such a terrible season. It's incredible. 26 goal involvements in 33 games. But look, as a central striker, he needs the ball in his feet. He needs really good service. And when Spurs struggle to do that, he can get a little bit lost in a game. He can drift out of it. And he kind of tries to turn into a bit of a creator rather than where they need him to be. And look, he made 5 key passes on the day, which is more than anyone yesterday on the pitch. But he does go wandering a little bit and comes too deep. And there was one point where I saw him on the edge of the Spurs penalty area, and we're all like, what are you doing there? There's a big gap up the top. There's so much more to come from Son, and he's going to be a big part of Spurs' future. Postecoglou confirmed that the other day. He's going to be a key part of Spurs going forward. So I still, and people disagree with me, I still prefer him as a left winger. I still feel like, or right wing, I just feel like he creates so many problems for opposition there, and he can cut inside. And I would say that was one thing I felt with him yesterday. There was so many times he wanted to get a shot away, and it meant that sometimes he would miss a pass. And understand why. He wants to. His trademark are those beautiful curling shots when he cuts inside. So I can understand why he's looking for them. But yeah, he just needs better service. That's the key thing for Sonny. He's a top player. Kulusevski had another frustrating match for me. It was one of those where he did some really positive things with the ball, made 3 key passes, but then he was also dispossessed 5 times, gave the ball away another 2 times. His pass success rate was only 64.7%, which was by far the worst of the Spurs players. I mean, like by 20% or so, a lot. It's just kind of really wasteful, and he's one of those guys where people maybe still don't appreciate how much he does. He creates more chances, I think, than any Spurs player on the pitch this season. I haven't got the stats to hand, but I'm pretty sure that would be the case. And it certainly was about 3-4 weeks ago. And even yesterday he was creating chances. Brennan Johnson gets a better connection with his volley early on from Kulusevski's cross, and it's another assist for him. But he will have wanted more out of this season. 6 goals and 3 assists. Not as productive. This is his 3rd campaign in the Premier League. 2.5 campaigns technically, of course, but 24 years old. Kind of feel like he needs to be moving into that next bracket now, where he's a consistent threat. I'm intrigued to see where he ends up in the Postecoglou system. He started on the left wing yesterday, and the second half went to the right wing. left wing, he doesn't always do that thing that they were getting out of Timo Werner quite regularly, which is get to the byline, cut it back. Get to the byline, cut it back. And Kulusevski just doesn't like that. Even with his left foot, he doesn't do it regularly. And we know on the right he's going to cut inside as well. Yeah, and you know, maybe that's something that impacts Sonny a little bit when he's on the left, that he'll want to cut inside and have those shots, and maybe that's not as frequent a part of the Postecoglou system. But look, the system will adapt. The system allows that. I mean, we saw Van der Ven. You know, I know technically he's supposed to be an inverted left back as well, but he was encouraged to come inside and have those shots. And there will be times when the wingers are, like, wanted to do that as well. So it's not just like they only do one thing. But I did feel that with Kulusevski, that he didn't make the impact on the left that I would have wanted him to do, to have. Yeah, big kind of pre-season ahead for him, really. Not in the Euros, are they, Sweden? So he's going to have a full pre-season, and I think it's a key one for him to really fit into the Postecoglou system. He loves the way Postecoglou plays football. He's just got to find exactly how his role works within it. I imagine we'll see a lot better season from him next year in terms of the numbers that he produces. For Brennan Johnson, I think it's been a real season of growth for him. I think there's a lot to like about the way Brennan Johnson plays. He's a very dangerous player. When he's got confidence, he's just superb in some of the things he does. He does need that confidence. I do think it's the consistency is the thing. And not just over the course of matches, but within matches. There's periods of matches where he's an absolute live wire, causes so many problems, and then for the next 15 minutes or so, he can fade out of a game. And that's something he's got to learn how to impact it more regularly. But that will come. I mean, he's got 9 assists and 5 goals in his first 33 Premier League games for Spurs. That's pretty decent. Again, I think with more composure and consistency, that will be more next season. It's not bad. What's that? 14 goal involvements in 33 Premier League games. That's all right. Yesterday, 4 key passes. Got the assist for Porro's spectacular goal. It was one of those where it's a bit far back in the move, but it's an assist. He had that volley, which tested Muric as well. He had a sliding effort from Sonny, did a really good ball across the face of goal that I kind of feel like Johnson should have done better with. It's one of those, it's difficult to argue because he's kind of steaming in there, but I felt he could have done better. I would imagine on a pre-season tour you'll see quite a few young players going because of the Euros and the Copa America as well, which is great. Should hopefully be heading off to that. Japan, and when it's eventually confirmed, it looks like Korea for the second part of it. Quite a few other pre-season games I think taking place as well this summer. I think it's going to be a bit of a busy one.